time is, everyone knows about that. It's one of the biggest rivalries, and the reason why it's such a big rivalry is because of the fan base. In Glasgow, you have Celtic and Rangers fans in the same household. So I'm getting told a story. There's one family I was talking to the other day. The Celtic fans have got a TV on that wall, and then the Rangers fans in the house have got a TV on that wall. So they're watching the game separately, which I found is funny. But that's how serious it is for them. It means a lot to them. But this season, especially with what's happened to myself, Glenn Kemar, and the other players, anything such as racism or abuse has been stopped. It's just only been about football, which has been good, and I think we showed that before the games at Celtic Stadium. Yeah. At our stadium, we've all stood together, and that was massive. Footballers or people in the limelight or in the public view, we can't do anything. If we do something, it will look even worse than anyone else doing it. So that we're kind of, it's like our hands are tied behind our back. So we have to kind of lean on the powers to be, such as the social media companies, such as Europa League and UEFA, to kind of deal with it for us, because we can't do anything about it.
And most of these unknown keyboard warriors, wherever they are, you're guessing that a lot of them are in the Czech Republic, or it's based around your experience in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell by the name of the account and the pictures. They obviously represent that club. Because obviously, I would screenshot all the comments and then send them to Lauren to send on to Instagram and also to Rangers to do something about it, to block them, to delete their accounts. But unfortunately, they'll be able to just make another account and probably continue it. And I think that's a massive part with social media. There should be more security around creating accounts for people. You shouldn't be able to write something abusive and get away with it and not show your face or your details.
I mean, what do you make of it when the social media companies say things like that?
I think actions speak louder than words. Until it's done and things are in place to make it more or to stop it completely, then I'm not really interested. It's as simple as that, because I'm the one that's getting the abuse and not them. So I don't think they understand the difficulty of it. But as much as I have negative thoughts regarding social media and the ability for them to be given us abuse, it's also given us a say as well. It's given us a platform to be able to speak about Black Lives Matter, to speak about online abuse. Before, I don't think anyone had a voice unless they went directly to the newspaper or was able to go on the TV and say something. But now, I could be sitting in my living room and type something up on my social media account and post it, and people can see it, which is helping me also, because maybe people won't realise how bad this racist comments were until I screenshotted what I was getting and posted it myself. And without social media, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
You mentioned your team spirit on this issue. When you look each other in the eye, you know you've got each other's backs. Yeah. I know the team took the decision recently to stop taking the knee. Can you tell me something about that and what the thinking was behind that?
It's another way of sparking conversation, and I believe it's a powerful message, because it got to the point where you was taking the knee, but then that's all good. Yeah, we're taking the knee, but then we're still getting the racism and all the abuse. So we're still taking the knee, but we're still getting abused. So we think, what's the point? Then it just builds anger inside of you, and then I think we just decided the knee's not working for us, we're just standing. And it was good that Celtic did the same thing on that day as well.
It interests me because I wonder how much in all of the hashtags, you know, and the anti-racism statements that we see big companies making, whether or not there was a sense in your squad that it's actually got to mean something. You know, it's all very well, you know, tweeting hashtags and, you know, doing all these symbolic moves, but unless things change, then it's pointless.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, actions speak louder than words, and I think all these hashtags and all this stuff is just ticking a box. Yes, we did the boycott for the weekend, and it was good because big organisations were involved, media outlets were involved, all the football clubs were involved, big companies involved. So then that spread the message to a wider audience, which was good. But I think the boycott needs to go on for longer, because the only way you're going to get change is when it affects people's money and ad revenues and things like that. And to stop that, you need to boycott social media for a longer period.
Tell us about this morning, what we saw on when we opened it up, what we saw on Twitter.
Yeah, I believe still racist comments and emojis are still out there now, and anyone could just go on there and see it. But the thing is, it obviously affects me, but it also affects my friends and family more, because they literally can't do anything about it, and they feel for me more. And especially, like I said earlier, when it's involving, I don't know, a picture with me and my daughter, and there's a comment about it there, that's when it's nothing to do with football, it's just my personal life with my daughter, and they're still commenting, and that's a different level.